This is your girl T, and we are here with the Infuse You podcast. We are live. You should be able to see us on Facebook, on YouTube, and also if you have the link to the Riverside app. So before we get started, I just want to make sure with technology that everything is working because we want to make sure that you can tune into this amazing conversation that we're going to have today. So let me just update this really quickly. Yay. Okay, change. All right. So, welcome to the Infuse You podcast. My name is Teresa, and I am your host. The goal of this podcast is to help women and young girls fill up their cups. Oftentimes, we are so concerned with helping and supporting others that we forget we have to take care of ourselves too. I am so excited to have a special guest today, Miss Tracy Walter. I met her last summer. I saw a post on Facebook about dancing with the Phoenix Mercury at the Phoenix Mercury game, and I had to get in. So I am two performances in, and she's going to share all about her business and the Dance Everybody movement today. So stay tuned. If you're watching live, post in the chat. Let us know if you have any questions, any feedback, any comments. We want to hear from you. But before we jump in, Tracy, can you please share with us one of your favorite life quotes?
Hi, Teresa. Thank you so much for having me on your awesome podcast. It's a pleasure to be here and talk with you and your audience. I love what you do, so keep doing it, girlfriend.
Thank you.
Yes. So, two of my favorite quotes is the first one is be okay with not being okay. There's a lot wrapped up in that one, as you can imagine, but that's my first one because a lot of times we won't admit when we're not okay, and then that just causes more issues in our lives. So be okay with that and vocalize when you're not okay. Call in the troops so you can get the help you need. And then my other one is one that my dear mother in law would say motion is lotion. And
Ooh.
yeah, and from her, she suffered many years with rheumatoid arthritis in her spine, but you would never know it because she was always up. She was always cooking, baking. She loved to shop. She loved being with the family, her grandkids. And so she was so inspirational to me. But motion is lotion is a reminder to get up and move your body. We were built to move. So that's why I love that one. And it also reminds me of her.
Yes, I like that. Motion is lotion. I'm going to use
Mhm.
that. So awesome. Thanks for sharing those two quotes with us. Now,
Mhm.
can you share with the listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your family, so they can know a little bit more about you?
Oh, absolutely. So I am new to Arizona. We moved here in the summer of 23. And my husband, Brian, has been trying to get us to move out here for a long time, since actually 2016, 2017. But I wasn't really interested then. I was like, yeah, yeah, Arizona. And so, and so we came out here last spring and I fell in love with it. So, but originally I'm from New Jersey, born and raised, and in a small town called Vauxhall. I never knew where that name came from until I was watching a British based show, and there's a Vauxhall Park in the London area. So I was like, oh, okay, that's where that name came from. But anyway, that's the town that I grew up in, where all my family, friends, everyone lived. And so definitely a northeastern girl. You can tell by my bamboo earrings.
I love them.
Um, so let's see what else. So I'm a wife. My husband Brian is a part of my business. Is we have this business together, the health and wellness. That's where the B and the T come from. And he's amazing support system. He just literally does whatever we need to get done. He's my web guy. He's my, bodyguard. He's my registration person. Like he just does everything.
He does everything.
He does. And when I tell him all the time, the ladies want you to join us on the floor, he's always like, they not ready.
He's like, yeah, okay.
Right, right. So let's see what else. I have two sons. Brendan is the youngest, and Justin, my older son, is here in Arizona. We dragged him from North Carolina with us. And let's see, have health and wellness company. I work full time as well, dance fitness instructor, event coordinator, and the list goes on.
Awesome. Now, can you share with us what type of services you offer through your business, BT Wellness Life?
Yeah, so I offer a monthly check-in program where I meet with people. I do remote. I really work mostly with remote people, and I can do a biometric body scan based on your voice. I have an app that measures the frequencies in your voice. And based on those frequencies, it will tell me in a report what's happening in your body. And people are always blown away by that because they don't really know how much your voice actually speaks about you, the verbal and the nonverbal. And so it's really amazing. And so I do that. So I have a monthly check in. I also work with people weekly. I have a 4 week, a 6 week, and a group plan. And so what I focus on is balancing hormones, nutrition, exercise plan, um, really just balancing your sleep routine, building healthy habits. So all of those are the things that I work with. And my goal is to meet people where they are. And so they pick a program and then we go from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You can tell by someone's voice.
Yeah, it is. I got to do a scan on you so I can send you the report and you're going to be blown away. Everyone always is.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that, listeners. That's something new I've learned today. Oh.
Yes.
So can you share what led you to become a nutrition and life coach? What was your motivation for that, picking that field?
Yeah. So I grew up in three generations of nurses. My great grandmother, she was from Alabama. She migrated to northern New Jersey, to the town where I grew up. And she taught me the importance of growing your own food and how important food and what we put in our body is. She had the best backyard you could ever imagine. She had every fruit, every apple, grapes, green beans, collards, you name it. She worked that dirt. And I was always right on her hip, collecting fruit and everything, making homemade preserves, all sorts of things like that. So I learned at an early age that nutrition is really important. And then, of course, being around my great grandmother, who was a nurse, my grandmother, and my mom. Even my mother in law was a nurse, like literally,
Wow.
yeah, nurses everywhere. I learned that two things. I learned that caring for people is my mission in life. It's literally woven into the thread of who I am. But I also learned that, you have to balance because, yes, you can love people. Yes, you can want to care for them, but they also have to want to care for themselves, most importantly. But you also have to remember to take care of you. And so I watched these beautiful, strong, loving, self sacrificing women do so much for everyone else, but not for themselves. And so I knew that when I started to help people get my education, help people, I wanted to teach them, please don't forget about you. Because if you're not here, then who's going to care for your family? Right.
Yes. No.
So
I second that.
that's what made me go into this field. I knew I couldn't be a nurse. I have so many issues with different scents and smells and fluids and all kinds of stuff. So I knew I couldn't do that. Bless their hearts. Nurses are my favorite people. They work so hard, like literally, they work harder than anyone else in a clinic, in a hospital, or anywhere else. They just give everything, right?
Mhm.
So I knew I couldn't do that, but I knew I wanted to help people thrive and live healthier lives.
Yeah, I couldn't be a nurse, the blood alone.
Yeah,
Even when you're looking at your own blood, it's like,
I,
oh, can't do it.
I know. Me too. Girl, you should see me get my blood drawn once a year for my physical. I'm like singing Copacabana. I'm like trying to talk to the lady. I'm like,
I have to actually watch them, and they're like, "You don't like getting your blood drawn, but you have to look." I said, "That's the only way you're gonna get it." And I said, "You have to do it in the same spot on the same arm, or you
mm-hmm.
can't get it." And
Right,
they're like,
right.
"Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, I'm looking at you. So poke me and let's get it over with."
And let's go. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, I hate blood. So, well,
Yeah.
that's cool that you had all of those nurses. And I remember my grandmother had in the backyard, she grew fruit and stuff, but
Hmm.
we've gotten away from that. My husband says
No.
we gotta get a garden
Yep.
with our own food and go back to the roots because
Yes,
that's
we do.
why we have all these diseases and things that are going on. So, yep,
Yes,
he would
yes,
agree with you on that. So,
yes. Let's do it.
so what would you say are the two biggest challenges that women face as we age in life?
I would say one thing for sure is thinking that, your teenage years and your 20s are not important to your longevity, right? There's a quote that's, I mean, it's kind of a little harsh, but it's true. It says, "Youth is wasted on the young."
Okay.
And that just basically, of course, means that when you're young, you're not really thinking much about your future self, right? And so I would think that's one of the mistakes that a lot of young people make. They kind of run themselves in the ground. They don't necessarily pay attention to what they eat. A lot of times they think, "Oh, I'm young, I can handle it." But everything that we do in our daily, weekly, yearly life, it does add up to how we're going to age and what kind of life we're going to have then. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges. And then the other one is all of the different endocrine system disruptions. So your endocrine systems, where the hormones like your thyroid, insulin, cortisol, all those things are generated and kicked into the bloodstream. And so because we have so many attacks to our hormones on a daily basis, I mean, everything from scented spray in our home, or scented garbage bag or candles, things like that you don't really pay attention to. But a lot of the products that we have in this country are disrupting our hormones. So I think that's the other biggest challenge, because it's a beautifully orchestrated system that we were created with. Our hormones run our body, and once something in that chain is off, it throws everything else out of balance. And so people are just dealing with a lot of issues. Even young people are dealing with a lot of issues that are related to hormone disruption. So I think that's another really big challenge that I hear a lot.
And is that something that if people have questions about like different scents that affect their hormones or things like that, is that something that you would be able to help them with?
Oh, absolutely. In my 6 week program, we talk about building healthy habits, and that's one of the things that we do. We literally go through their home with their camera, and they show me like, okay, so here's what I use here. These are the products I use, etc. The detergent, all that. And so
Wow.
I help them clear out those things out of their homes, so that, and bring in some things like plants, you know what I mean? So that they can get some better quality of air, get those toxins out of the house, and look for cleaner solutions.
Okay, gonna have to look into that. Because I'm sure there's a lot of things in my house that are not clean. So awesome. Um, what are some things that you would recommend women to take action on or seek guidance on when it comes to their well-being?
I think the biggest thing that women can do to take action is really being their own advocate. Unfortunately, we get trained really early on, something hurts, go to the doctor. Something not feeling right, go to the doctor. But here's my thing: nobody knows my body, your body, Teresa, or anyone else's like myself, like yourself, right?
Right.
So there are different things that we can do on a daily basis to help our bodies. And so I think that's one of the biggest things. We've forgotten how to trust our own instinct,
Right.
you know, trust our own judgment, our own knowledge. Um, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be a doctor, right? And you don't have to be an expert, but you can definitely um, listen to the signs, pay attention to your body. I tell people all the time, as soon as you start feeling a sore throat, anything, just stop, because it's a signal. Your body is telling you, uh-oh, there's an invader. It's gotten past the gates. I'm trying to fight it, but I need your help, right?
Right.
Don't just pop a cough drop and keep running. Like, you have to rest.
Let's pop a cough drop and keep running.
All right. Mm-mm, no, don't do that. you need to chill and, get your tea, get your lemon, and all those good natural remedies are still very, very powerful today. We just have to stop and do
I'm just checking Facebook here to see if anybody's joined. I'm checking this chat too, but
it. Okay.
it looks like somebody reacted. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Somebody reacted, but they're not saying anything. They're watching. But if you are watching us live, please make sure you comment. If you have any questions for Tracy or for myself, don't be shy. That's
Hmm.
what we're here for. So if you're watching, please comment, chat, say something. Let us know that you're here. I see you on my phone. So you guys are out there watching.
Thanks for watching.
um, all right. So dance, everybody. Tell the
Right.
people what it's all about, the movement, how they can get involved. This is where I get excited because I'm part of it. So okay.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for that excitement. You have been an absolute joy to have on board. So thank you so much for your participation, your excitement, willing to practice extra with folks over at Mountainside. Thank you, Mountainside.
Yay.
So we appreciate that. So Dance Everybody is our dance fitness event that encourages young, old, in the middle, no dance experience, to get up and move your body. As a fitness instructor rather, I love seeing people get excited to get off the couch. And a lot of people, they just don't feel like, I can't exercise. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm embarrassed. Whatever is in their mind that's pausing or stopping them from exercising. I'm like, don't worry. Get up, put on your favorite song, and dance. And so for me, with my dance background, I've been dancing, my mom says since birth. I don't know, but I've been dancing a really long time. I had a good span dance career. I've been in every type of dance you can imagine. And then when I retired, in a sense, from performing, I did some music videos in New York. That was amazing. Um, but I took a little hiatus and I would only dance for fun. And then I got into dance fitness in North Carolina with Larica Knox. Hey, Larica. She should be on here somewhere. Um, but I started going to her classes and I just fell in love with it. And I was like her hype girl. I'd be in the front of the class. I knew all her routines. I was getting everybody, come on, let's go. And she would tell me, girl, you weren't here. And, I had nobody hyping up the class, if I missed a class or something. She was like, no, but you should be an instructor. And I was like, really? You think so? She's like, yes. Why not? Right.
You're already
And
there.
yes, exactly. So she kind of pushed me toward the goal, and I was so glad she did. And so Dance Everybody came from that love of dance. And when I moved to Arizona, the I checked with the Suns and they were like, well, we don't really have, anything consistent like what you're doing. We would love to have you. And so I called there wanting to dance for the Suns. But the sales rep was like, well, what about the Phoenix Mercury? And I was like, okay. Never even thought about it, right? And I tell you, the experience with the Phoenix Mercury team, the behind the scenes folks, everybody is just amazing. It really was my favorite experience. So we did two Phoenix Mercury shows last year. May 18th, their game opener, and then 8/18, which is when they came back from the Olympics. Both were amazing, had a blast, and they go all out for the ladies. I mean,
Yes.
it's just like electrifying in that place in the Footprint Center Arena. So that's how it all came about. And then, of course, the Sun season, they called, they said, are you guys going to do the Suns? We'd love to have you. The Suns and the Phoenix WNBA organization, the Mercury and the Suns, love us. They love, if listen, if we did something every other month, they would be totally okay with that. They're like, oh my goodness, you ladies, you're so organized and you're so respectful and you just, you're on point, you're polished, your routines are amazing. Oh my God, you ladies look great. They sing our praises even to the upper management. So that makes me feel really good because what it's shown me is that this movement has drawn like the best of the best, you know. And instructors, I have a special place in my heart because, like yourself, Teresa, you know, instructors, we don't get paid a lot for what we do
Nope.
at all, right?
We're
But
doing it from
we
here.
exactly, we do it because we love it. And so the instructors are who I want to feature. That's really who I had in my mind and my heart when I started Dance Everybody, because I wanted everyone to see on a large scale who these women are, what they do, you know, where to find them. And so that's the reason behind it all. And so it's just been a project of my heart, and the ladies are just absolutely amazing. How you can get involved, you can go to my website, btwellness.live, and you can click on the I Want to Dance, and it'll take you to a little form. You fill it out, and I'll get an email and I'll contact you back.
Awesome. And this season, we have instructors outside of Arizona joining us.
Yes, we have some New Mexico instructors. Yay.
Yay!
Yep. And a couple others are kind of buzzing around the idea in some other areas. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, from Tucson to Casa Grande to Phoenix, Avondale, Goodyear, I mean, literally instructors from all over. So please come join us. We'd love to have you.
Yes, and being one of those instructors, just want to share that it's been an amazing experience.
Mhm,
Tracy is very well organized. You are going to need to prepare and practice because if you're not ready, you will not hit the floor, just letting you
mhm.
know. So
Thank
if
you.
you're not ready to do it, maybe join next time. But if you're ready to put everything in practice,
Mhm.
practice, be prepared, then we would love to have you with us. It's
Mhm.
fun time. So
Yeah. And
I'm
I'm glad
excited
to.
about the next performance.
Yeah, me too. 5/25/25. That's the date. May
Awesome.
25th, 25. Yep. And I'm
And
glad
this
that you, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and this is gonna be our first halftime performance, so I'm
Yes,
excited.
I was going to say that too. Our very first halftime for the Phoenix Mercury. So we are super excited. We're going to be performing like in front of so many people. And so we're going to have to prepare well. And my ladies will tell you I am like the most fierce dance mom. Like, but I do that because I want everyone to shine on that floor. You know, we listen, we can do whatever we want in class. You know
Right.
what I mean? I'm good, right? But when we hit that floor in front of thousands of people, we gotta be in sync. When people watch us, they should see one body of movement. And so that's
Exactly.
why our practices are fun, but we get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
work
I'm
really
so glad.
hard.
Yes, we do. We work hard. So I'm so glad you mentioned that. So yeah, if you're ready to do it and ready to commit, let's go.
Yay, let's go. All right, so we're gonna switch topics a little bit about books. Do you have some favorite books that you could recommend the listeners to read? I'm
Yes.
sure the books that you have are gonna be very informative, very educational.
Yes. And I'm always getting book recommendations. In fact, a friend of mine, I'm just looking for it right now. A friend of mine, we went out to see jazz last night, and she told me that there was a book title that a book that I just have to read. And I was like, huh, okay, send me the title of the book. And it is the Let Them Theory.
The
It
Let
is a
Them
life
theory.
changing tool that millions of people can't stop talking about. The Let Them Theory.
Who's the author of that book? I heard that Let Them. I saw a YouTube series by
Yeah.
I
It
forget the
looks like
lady's name.
Mel Robbins.
Yes, that's her.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
featured that in my workshop. I played one of her YouTube videos because
Really?
she talks about if people say that you can't do this, basically let them. If
Yep.
they don't believe in you, let them. Basically, she's saying that let people do and say whatever they want. You
Yep.
just focus on what you can do. I
That's
didn't know
right.
she had a book.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
Yes.
read the book because I follow her YouTube series. So
Yes.
that's
Yes. So
Mel
that's
Robbins.
exciting. So let's read it together so we can share tidbits.
All right, I'm gonna have to look the book up.
Yes.
Yeah, I like her. She's awesome.
She really is. I really, really enjoy her. The other one that I have is that I've gotten halfway through is Love as a Business Strategy. And so this is
Ooh,
for all my business minded entrepreneurs out there. And it just really focuses, here it is right here, resilience, belonging, and success. And so
Right.
this is another one because as women we lead oftentimes with our hearts, and we start businesses to help people and lift people up and so forth. And so it really does bring it, kind of connect the dots between love and a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because
like
you
that
also,
too.
yeah, because when you start a business, you also want to be able to make funds from it, right?
Yeah,
So sometimes the lines get a little blurred because of our love, So it's a great book to kind of keep you focused.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now this podcast focuses on filling up your cup. What are some things that you do to fill up your cup when you're not helping other people do the same?
Yes. So a big one for me is rest, Teresa. I have learned in life, say no. It's okay to say no. Because we all have limitations. And as women, we're always pushing past those, and that is what will wear you down. I saw a stat recently that was really, I never realized this, but 78% of people with an autoimmune issue are women.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I started reading more about it, it also mentioned the emotional connection to an autoimmune because your nervous system, underneath your nervous system, is your emotions, right?
Right.
And so, because women often hold a lot in, we don't always say, we don't want to hurt feelings,
Yep.
we're tired, but we go do stuff anyway. All those things just wear you down over time. So, for sure, rest is number one for me. Okay. The other one is I love telling my friends this. Listen, I am the captain of my own self preservation team. Okay. And what I mean by that is protect your peace, get your rest, drink your water to stay hydrated. we're like 75% water. Like, come on, we need water. But you'd be surprised how many people are dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really, the other aspects of life that I learned about when I was getting my certification for health coach, there's on the plate things that are important, right? What we eat, our food, but there are also many things that are considered off your plate that are extremely important. Some of those things are spirituality, right? Your finances, your career, your health, of course, home environment, home cooking, right? Your social life. And of course, doing things like creating things that bring you joy. So, all those things are very important. They're not on the plate, they're off the plate, but they are as key to what you're feeding your body to feed your soul.
I like it. Off the plate.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to look at it.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else, Tracy, that you want to share with the listeners who will be watching this episode about cultivating awareness in their daily life? What else do you want to share? What other gems do you want to leave them with?
Yeah. So, first of all, I just want everyone to know that my life's mission, what brings me joy, is helping people feel better in their own skin. Um, I'm a deep believer in, everything comes from the inside, right? Whatever's going on in our inside will be reflected on the outside. And so that's where I like to begin with people. And so that's what my life mission is. That is what I feel like I was born to do, is to help people thrive and not just survive, but thrive. That's where I shine. And so for me, it's all about preventing disease. Okay. So if I can get to women in their 30s, mid 30s, before the premenopause, the perimenopause, any of those pre-diabetic, if I can get to them before that and help them mind shift, right? Help them build some healthy habits, help them change their nutrition, and so forth, then I can help them prevent the disease that would prevent them from living a full life, right? Because we want to live well, we want to live long, we don't want to die slow, right?
Right.
And so that's where I come in because I'm there to cheer you on. Yeah, every day's not going to be great. Be okay with not being okay, right? But let's celebrate the successes. Let's pivot. I'm going to meet you where you are. We're going to just stay connected. I'm here, And so I just really want people to know that, and I thank you so much, Teresa, for this opportunity to share that. You just truly inspire me. I remember when we were first talking and I saw your podcast, I was like, oh my goodness, Teresa, you need to be my podcast coach. That's what I want to be one day. So I love it because, you inspire me. We all can inspire each other, in different ways. And in that, you really find your tribe and you can support each other. And so I'm just really happy. I really love this platform, and I just thank you so much for what you do.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I always tell all the women that there's a place for all of us. Everyone can
Yes.
win. There's no competition.
Yep.
And whatever nuggets I get, I'm willing to share. I'm not one of those people because someone had to show me. And
Yes.
just like you, I have a heart that wants to help people to
Yes.
become their better self. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
well, I appreciate you taking time to speak with me today. For those of you that are watching the replay, you can reach out and follow Tracy. She is on Facebook under Tracy Walter. You can follow her business on Instagram at BT Wellness LLC or visit her website, www.btwellness.live. You guys know how to reach me on all of my social media platforms. Next Sunday on our podcast, it's going to be the last Sunday of Black History Month. So we will be talking about women inventors, Black women inventors for Black History Month. So make sure you tune in for that episode. I'm super excited to share that. And I do have some additional special guests coming. So stay tuned. I can't tell you who they are just yet, but they are in the works. Follow Tracy, get your wellness game up. I'm working with her on my wellness, so she has a lot to offer. So make sure you head over to her website to find out how she can best service you. And again, if you're interested in joining the Dance Everybody team, make sure you hit her up. You don't want to miss out on that for all of my instructors that are watching or students. If you want to get involved, fill out the form and Tracy will contact you back.
Yep.
You have been listening to the Infuse You podcast. I hope something was said today that will help you along your life journey. Until next time, continue to do you, be you, infuse you, and be blessed. We hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, we're not live. Yay!
Yay!
We
Girl,
didn't get
that
anybody live, but this will be